Welcome to Celestia Astrology. I'm Sonia. Thank you for joining me to look at this new moon in Capricorn. I've got a great Astro Mindfulness exercise for you, but we'll start with looking at the astrology. And Capricorn is a sign that's ruled by Saturn, and this is the yin expression of Saturn, the feminine side of Saturn that's more introspective and less out in the world, action oriented. But at the same time, Capricorn is a cardinal sign, which is initiating and about action. So there's a bit of, I suppose, like an identity crisis maybe going on here, or maybe just a bit more thoughtful action, taking its time, taking time to be conscious about what's going on and maybe not so exuberant. So this is the earthy side of Saturn, and Saturn to the ancients was the outermost planet, so it was the furthest away from the Earth. So it's a very interesting sign for Saturn to be in, because it's sort of bringing Saturn down to Earth. And it's also the yin side of Saturn, which is the feminine. There's some introspection here, and it's why Capricorn can often be very focused. Saturn often brings lessons in, and Capricorn can be known as a very ambitious, self-motivated and focused sign. You know, Capricorns will always be very reliable, very determined as well. You know, it's the sign of the mountain goat who's always going to get to the top of that mountain. There aren't any obstacles that are going to stop this mountain goat. You know, they've got a way around things. They've got a way to achieve what they need to achieve. So there's no steep side of the mountain that's going to cause a problem for this goat. He's going to get where they're going. So this new moon in Capricorn is bringing in the opportunities for setting intentions and making plans for the future. And it's a very powerful time, because the Capricorn, being known for this grounded, pragmatic and practical nature, for this problem solving side and this way of getting around obstacles. Saturn isn't a planet that's quick and agile. Saturn plays a longer game. It takes time and moves slowly, but the job gets done, and it gets done well, and the rewards come in. You know that you've learnt the lesson well. So it's the perfect time now to focus on your career and long-term goals and projects that you may be thinking about, and things that reflect your legacy in the world, or the way that people, what you're known for, the way that people see you. So if there's anything that you want to get done that affects the way that you're seen in the world, this is a good time to renew and look at these things. It's a time to reflect on any ambitions that you have and work towards achieving them with determination and discipline. And you don't have to do the whole project now. It's about making a start, setting those intentions, starting the planning process. And during the time of the new moon, it's about literally setting things in motion. So as long as you take those first steps, that's what's important. And Capricorn is also associated with responsibility and accountability. And I've pulled the card from the Wild Way Oracle deck by Nicola Allen, and I'll put her contact details in the description. And this card is literally called Secure and Stable, which reflects that responsibility. And the keywords for this are position of power, material prosperity, and responsibility. So it shows that with taking that responsibility by stepping up, that material prosperity can come in. And we often see this with earthy signs. It's about the material rewards that come in as well. It's about focusing on the material, and the material often can be money or material things, the other material goods, the things that we maybe value over the less tangible things in life. So it's very tangible, practical things that you can feel and touch, and also often how this can give the position of power or the perception of power. So you can use this moon to take a closer look at your personal and professional relationships, and reassess now at this time whether they're still in alignment with your values and goals, and how those have changed over the last year since the last new moon in Capricorn, and also since over the last 6 months since the last full moon in Capricorn. And it may be time now to let go of any toxic connections that you've identified, or focus on nurturing the positive ones that are really supporting you right now. And in addition to setting intentions that you may want to set, the new moon in Capricorn is an excellent time for journaling and reflection, and that's because of this yin side of Saturn. that brings in, but also because of the aspects that I'll go on to discuss. Meditating on your goals, and obviously the Astro Mindfulness that we'll bring in will help you with that, and visualizing yourself achieving them. But it's also important to stay grounded and disciplined in your approach. Saturn really rewards the people who can put in the hard work and discipline. Saturn isn't about the easy fix or the luck that Jupiter brings in, maybe. This is about a process and putting the hard yards in, putting the work in, looking at the longer term goals that are going to take you maybe years to manifest, but really knuckling down and staying with the plan. So looking at the astrology of it, this new moon is co-present with an exalted Mars in Capricorn, and Mars brings the drive, the focus, the commitment. And what I found with Mars is that Mars really likes having a project to do. Mars brings all that energy in. It needs an outlet, so it can be misdirected sometimes into aggression or even violence if it's in the wrong place. So it really is helpful to sometimes even consciously give Mars the project that you want it to be working on. So if you're aware that there's a project or a goal that you had in mind that you've been putting off working on, maybe because you haven't had the energy or the time or the attention to give to it, this is great to think, oh great, Mars is exalted now, maybe it's time to work on XYZ project, and consciously give it to Mars. Let Mars work on that and bring that energy, because there is a risk of like overworking or burning out with this, and you need to be really conscious of that you don't want to work too hard, you don't want to be working too late, because things can get carried away. So watch how hard you're pushing yourself during this time. Make the most of the energy and the focus that Mars is bringing, but also make sure that you schedule in time to relax as well, that it's not all work and no play. And that's also because Pluto's at the anaretic degree of Capricorn. Pluto is poised at the last, simply means the last degree, but we call it that because if you imagine like a movie and you sat through 3 hours of a movie, and suddenly in the last 3 minutes all of the storylines, there may have been multiple threads going on, and then suddenly everything gets tied up in the last 3 minutes of the movie. Suddenly everything's revealed, and things that you saw cooking maybe, and then it's not that but it's this, and suddenly everything gets explained but it's really fast. It's a bit too fast, and you kind of see that all happening. Suddenly everything's been a really slow burn up to this point, and then suddenly it's like all these solutions and resolutions coming at you really fast in the last couple of minutes. And it's a little bit like that at the anaretic degree. It's like this panic to get everything finished and done, because on the 20th of January, Pluto will enter Aquarius and begin new stories. Pluto kind of has to decide what Pluto itself is going to carry forward, in the same way that you're deciding what you're going to carry forward with you into this new moon phase, what you're going to take with you from the old and bring into the new. Pluto has to do the same thing. So we see at this time, particularly in the news stories, global news stories, longer term stories that have been on the boil, in and out of the news for the last 16 years, or themes that have been in and out of the news, are starting to be tied up now. And this is Pluto's second look into Aquarius on the 20th of January. And it'll be in Aquarius until September, and then it will return to Capricorn for the very last time, or for the last time in our lifetimes at least. And then in November, I believe, it'll return to Aquarius, and then it'll be there until 2044. So it's going to be the next 20 years it'll spend in Aquarius. So there'll be long-term themes in Aquarius. But what we're seeing for the rest of this year is a complete tying up in a bow of these themes that we've seen while Pluto's been in Capricorn. So this new moon in Capricorn is really showing us these themes, and it's showing us the end of the end, if you like. So while Pluto's been at 29 degrees, this new moon is saying, okay, final curtain call. It's kind of like, when you see a theatre and they do the bow and then they go off, and then there's such applause, they come back and they do the final bow, and they maybe sing a last song or do like a little reprise or something. So this is like, okay, this is really it, folks. This is the tying up. This is all we've got. And this is the second one, and then we'll see a third. So it really is the exclamation point, and the new moon will show us this is really what it's all been about. The structures that crumble now and decay are not being carried forward into Aquarius. And we also see that this lunation has whole sign sextiles with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And here we see these illusions, these dreamlike quality of Pisces, spirituality and otherworldliness. And that makes it an excellent time for journaling and reflection, for taking time to meditate on your goals and visualize yourself achieving them. And this taps into this yin side of Capricorn and Saturn, and the earthy nature of Saturn as well, where you're really tapping into the ability to plant a seed and trust that there's magic going on beneath the soil. When you go within, that you can create something, and just trusting that you can plant that seed, and you might not see it grow, you might not know what's going on beneath the earth, but you trust that in time something will spring forth, that those shoots will emerge in the spring. Lunation is also separating from a trine with the planet Uranus, which is known as the Great Awakener. Uranus brings unexpected events, but because it's separating, that means that the event has usually happened beforehand, and what we're seeing now is the consequences. It's called the flowing forth. So the event has happened and we're seeing everything that comes from that event. So it might be in your own life that something you didn't expect has happened, and this lunation is showing you what opportunities this has actually brought forward for you, and giving you the opportunity to make something from that. You might not have wanted what you were shown, but there will be opportunities there from this new moon, and it will be showing you what the possibilities might be. And we have Mars, the exalted Mars, is also trining Jupiter in Taurus, and together with Uranus and Mars and Jupiter here, we're seeing this excitement and innovation to this new moon, and it's encouraging us to take risks and explore new possibilities. So the trine with Jupiter in Taurus adds a sense of abundance and prosperity to our endeavours, and makes it a favourable time, for example, making plans for finances if that's what you're doing, or your savings, building wealth. So it's a good time to review those things, especially if you've been neglecting them. Maybe that's a project that you could give to Mars. And also for growing your pleasures in life, making time to stop and smell the roses, and realising that you're really cultivating your own garden of resources for things that support you in life, and not just the literal garden, but that you're gathering your own garden of resources, that if you tend to them well, things will support you, and also that you can stop and appreciate them. They may be small things, for example, small daily rituals that you do that maybe you don't have to do, but that you enjoy and that give you some pleasure. And it's a time when it's really great to actually notice that and give some gratitude for that, and notice how it supports you in life as well. And finally, the lunation also squares the lunar nodes. These are the nodes of the moon, which is where the path of the moon intersects the ecliptic. And the nodes are currently in Aries and Libra, and they represent karmic points in our lives, and they're points of action or crisis when this square manifests. The squares are of the nature of Mars, so they require us to take action. And so we may see old structures leaving our lives, decaying or crumbling, and we're being asked what remains. What do we keep? What lessons have we learned in what we need, and what we need to build anew? And maybe we need to take some action regarding that, with the karmic nature of what's entering our lives and what's leaving our life. And in particular, this lunation is again just past this point, and in particular this lunation is just past this point of the bending of the nodes. So that means again that we're looking at the consequences of what happened if an event happened. So the fresh start is coming in, and really the action that you take now is planting your seeds for the future, in terms of building something more stable for yourself, building the future with what you've decided to keep in your life. So I hope, if it doesn't make much sense now, that it will as we get closer to the time, or even past the time, and maybe one or two of these events transpire in your life, and you realise that that's maybe what I was talking about with the nodes in Aries and Libra. Aries is often about the self and Aries is a Mars ruled sign, so that's very much about the warrior and taking action, about focus and drive and courage, and sometimes conflict. So there might have been a conflicting act that might have happened. And then Libra is Venus ruled, so that's about balance and justice and fairness. So there may have been some sort of conflict between an action you wanted to take or an action somebody else took, and the fairness or justice in that action, or in how it worked out. So this configuration suggests that there may be some karmic tension and challenges showing up, maybe relating to your sense of purpose and direction. You may feel a sense of conflict between your past experiences and your future aspirations, or maybe they're between your personal desires and your commitments to others. This can be a time of decision making and reflection, and they're complex energies to navigate. So I hope that this does help you with it. So before we begin the Astro Mindfulness exercise, can I just remind you, if it's okay, just how grateful I am for your likes and subscribes and comments. It really helps the channel, and it also honours the energy exchange, so I am very grateful. So now, as we move into the Astro Mindfulness exercise, I'd like to invite you to settle yourself comfortably, whether you're sitting or lying, or you may even prefer to walk. If you're sitting, try and keep your spine straight and let your hands rest gently by your side. You may wish to keep your eyes open or let them just drift gently downwards. Let your gaze rest softly. Bring your attention now to your breathing. Just focus as you breathe in and out. Try and follow the passage of your breath, moving into your body and leaving your body. You don't need to alter your breathing in any way. Try and notice as much as you can about the sensation of the air moving into your body. Notice where you feel it most. Do you feel it at your nose, in your mouth, at the roof of your mouth, or the back of your mouth, in your throat as it travels down, your neck, your chest, your lungs, your heart center, or even further down into your stomach, your diaphragm. Try and breathe into this position where you notice and feel the air the most. Breathe into that place and breathe out again. In mindfulness, we call this place your mindfulness anchor. The more you practice breathing into the place, the more it becomes second nature. And whenever you need to take a pause in your day, when you need to check in with yourself, when you need to take a mindfulness break, you can just breathe into your mindfulness anchor. It will give you a pause. It will help you to tie into the calm that you feel from a full meditation, even in just a few breaths, in 3 breaths or 10 breaths, longer if you can make it. But the more you practice it, the more your body will respond and recognize what you're doing. It knows, it's like a trigger that it knows, and it will automatically relax. So breathe into your mindfulness anchor, and as you do, release all the stresses of your day. Just scan your body from the top of your head down Are you holding any tension in your face, in your jaw, in your shoulders, your back, your stomach, in your hips, your legs, your knees and your feet? If you are, just tense that area up and then release it. Any tension from your day or your week or your month, just let it all go. It is past now. It is gone. It's okay to release it. You're safe now here, just breathing into your mindfulness anchor, with nowhere to go, nowhere to be, just breathing. And if you find that your mind wanders, as minds often do, that's okay. Know that you're just practicing. You're practicing mindfulness, and just bring your mind gently back to my voice, and to this moment, and to your mindfulness exercise. And as you breathe into your mindfulness anchor, see if you can visualize a mountain goat. Imagine that it's just in front of you, playing, exploring, travelling across the earth, rubbing against a tree. Do you feel your body respond to it? This vision of the mountain goat. Maybe it awakens the mountain goat within you. Let the mountain goat within you travel with the mountain goat in your vision. This is a time for new beginnings, for setting intentions, not with wishes. They're fleeting, but this is the deliberate chiseling of stone. We're going to envisage your ideal future, not as a hazy dream, but as a sturdy edifice arising from the bedrock of your present. So breathe and begin to walk with the mountain goat of your vision, allowing your inner mountain goat to follow along. As the mountain goat reaches a mountainside and begins to climb, there are obstacles, of course. Life is full of obstacles. But they're not stopping the mountain goat, and they're not stopping you. You easily sidestep the obstacles. You breathe into your mindfulness anchor, and you know that you can sidestep the obstacles, because the mountain goat within you is capable of this. And you watch the mountain goat in your vision, climbing the mountainside. And you realize that Pluto's transformative fire is crackling beneath your feet. This journey is beginning to demand shedding outdated versions of yourself. You realize that you've already shed a limiting belief. You know now that you can sidestep obstacles. Congratulate yourself. Maybe rest on the mountainside for a moment while you congratulate yourself and reflect on any other limiting beliefs there may be, or any stagnant habits. Pluto has lit a fire for you and is boiling a kettle for a cup of tea while you rest. Feel the flames of the fire licking at your insecurities, transforming them into fuel for your ascent. As you breathe, see what limiting beliefs or stagnant habits come to mind. And as you breathe, remember how easily the mountain goat is going to sidestep these obstacles. And as you breathe, remember that your inner mountain goat can do the same. So breathe in this new knowledge of your ability to sidestep the obstacles. And breathe out the old limiting beliefs and stagnant habits. Breathe in your new knowledge of sidestepping obstacles. And breathe out limiting beliefs and stagnant habits. Breathe in this new knowledge of sidestepping obstacles. And breathe out your limiting beliefs and stagnant habits. Pluto's fire can be relentless. As you finish your cup of tea, realize that if fear threatens to overwhelm you and delay you on your journey, you can always turn to Mars. Mars is the fearless warrior who ignites courage within your heart. Let his battle cry echo throughout your being, propelling you onwards. Look within and see where you need courage. Look within and see where Mars is helping drive you forwards. And as you exhale, know that Mars' fearlessness will help you on this journey. And now you get close to the summit, and you see that the nodes of the moon are standing like silent sentinels, pointing you towards the fated eclipse waiting in Aries in April. Acknowledge the inevitable challenges, the crossroads where comfort must be sacrificed for growth. Let the wind of destiny whistle through your hair, but you do not falter. You are equipped with the strength of Capricorn and the unwavering support of the cosmos. The mountain goat trots easily through the nodes, and you, with your inner mountain goat, follow just as easily. And finally, from the summit, you turn your gaze towards Uranus, the celestial wild card, the great awakener, dancing in Taurus. He whispers to you of unexpected opportunities, disruptive shifts that can propel you beyond your wildest dreams. He asks you a question, and you nod. You agree to be open to these sudden gusts of change, for they may hold the key to unlocking your true potential. How does that feel in your heart? Is it scary? Does it feel exciting? Take one last look around from the top of the mountain. The mountain goat has already started his descent. Is your inner mountain goat ready to leave this place? As you begin to follow the mountain goat, for you don't yet know the path, your heart is already pounding with a newfound resolve. You've seen the potential of this Capricorn new moon. You've seen what it offers you for transformation and how it can meet your ambitions. You intend to carry this feeling with you, weaving it into the fabric of your daily actions. You've agreed to let it guide your actions, fuel your focus, and illuminate your path towards a future built on the solid ground of intention and transformation. As you descend, maybe you see a vision, maybe you hear a message, something that shows you what your next steps will be. Listen carefully as you navigate the obstacles. Maybe it's in the rocks tumbling behind you. As you slowly reach the bottom, carefully the mountain goat starts playing again on the earth and finds his favourite tree again. He reminds you that this is not a passive observance that you've made. This is an active participation in a grand cosmic play, and you're required to play your role in this. As the moon waxes full, nurture your intentions and tend to the seeds that you're sowing. The mountain goat has other mountains to climb now, so he bids you farewell. Reflect for a moment on what you've learnt and what you've seen. Maybe decide what your next step will be. As you return to the place that you began, say one last goodbye to your inner mountain goat as you prepare to return. But remember what you've seen and what you've experienced, what you've visualized or what you've heard. and what's possible for you when you sidestep the obstacles. Take a last breath and return to the present moment. And as you do, just gently stretch out your arms, wriggle your fingers, move your legs, move your toes, and reacquaint yourself with your surroundings and the noises around you. I hope you find that really helpful, especially in navigating the energies that are present with this new moon in Capricorn. And I hope that the ability to sidestep the obstacles stays with you. And remember that the seeds that you planted today will blossom as the moon waxes full and moves through her cycle. And this will carry on for 6 months until the full moon in Capricorn as well. Thank you for joining me. If you're enjoying my work, I'd like to just remind you that my books are open for astrology readings, astro coaching and mindfulness coaching. Through the art of astrology, I can help you gain an insight and a deeper understanding of yourself, your relationships and the journey that you're on. We can analyse the positions of the planets at the time of your birth, and by doing this we can uncover the unique blueprint that influences your personality, your strengths and especially your challenges and life's purpose. Whether you're seeking guidance on your career, your love life, your personal growth, or indeed any other aspect of your life, astrology offers a profound way to explore the energies at play. During our session together, we can dive deeper into the details of your birth chart. We can discuss the significance of the sun, moon and rising sign for you, and look at your planetary placements and, more importantly, their relationship to each other and how that's playing out in your life. I can help offer insights into the current astrological transits and help you navigate life's transitions and make informed decisions. If you like, this helps you to live life more in flow with the universe rather than trying to swim against the current. Astrology is a tool for self-discovery and empowerment. It's about recognising your potential, embracing your authenticity and making the most of the energies that are surrounding you. So if you're at all curious about what the stars and the planets have to say about your journey, I'm here to guide you through this celestial map that is your birth chart. And if you'd like me to help you with that, I do offer a 15-minute free consultation where you can ask me any questions that you'd like to know before committing to a reading, so you can decide if I'm the right astrologer for you. So I'd love to meet you. If you think you'd like to go ahead with that, just click on the details at the bottom of this recording and you'll be able to see where to find me. Thank you.